Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Tower of God New World. In today's video, we are going to check out the brand new SSR tank unit, Shinsu of the Heart Endorsi. Now, I'm really excited to test this character out because this has to be one of the most good looking units in the game, and she looks very busted. Now, when I say busted, you guys know exactly what I mean. But anyway, so let's go ahead and check out her kit. So the first thing we're going to read here is her passive Jewel Heart. It says increases defense by 90% for each green element ally, excluding the caster. At the start of the battle, grants 1 Jewel Heart to the caster, which is consumed whenever HP reaches 10%. When removed, instantly recovers 40% of max HP and removes all debuffs and status effects inflicted on the caster. Gains 1 Jewel Heart per enemy inflicted with Fascination by the caster skill, max 5 stacks. Does not activate when taking fatal damage, even when possessing Jewel Heart. So basically for her passive, the best thing about her passive is the fact that she gets 90% increased defense when she's in a green element team comp. So this pretty much means that this unit is specifically for green element. Like, that's the best team for her. That's the best element for her, because if you put her in any other team, you're going to lose a massive chunk of defense, and she is a tank unit, so you want her to have as much defense as much as possible. And the Jewel Heart, she pretty much has 5 stacks in total, and whenever she removes a Jewel Heart, she's going to recover 40% of max HP, which is really good. So this passive makes her extremely tanky. Now, when we move on to her next skill, which is Heart Dart, this is an active skill. It says fires Heart Darts at the farthest enemy, dealing 400% of attack as damage 3 times. The last attack deals 120%, 20% of max HP as additional damage, and inflicts Fascination for 4 seconds. Then decreases magic resistance by 20% for 8 seconds. So this skill right here is very good because it pretty much decreases the enemy's magic resistance. So if you're using a magic damage type unit like Punisher in, for example, he's going to be able to do a lot of damage because of the magic resistance shred. Now for the next thing, we have a Heart Zone active skill. Deploys a Heart Zone near the caster for 8 seconds, dealing 200% of attack as damage per second to enemies within the zone. Also deals 10% of max HP as additional damage to enemies hit. Decreases magic resistance of enemies hit within the zone by 30%, and increases the caster's physical resistance by 10% and magic resistance by 10% per enemy. So this active skill is also cracked because she basically has 30% magic resistance shred, which is going to allow magic damage type units to do a lot more damage. And the other good part is the fact that she receives physical and magic resistance by like 10% per enemy, which pretty much means she gets 50% physical resistance and 50% magic resistance, because there are 5 enemies on a team most of the time. So this is actually cracked. This pretty much increases her survivability by a ton, and she just becomes an absolute tanky unit. Now for her special move, we have Surfing Heart. It says awakens the Heart Shinsu for 10 seconds, increasing the caster's max HP by 200%. Rides a giant Heart Shinsu toward and charges at the enemy with the highest attack, dealing 1200% of attack as damage to all enemies in the path. Also deals 30% of max HP as additional damage to enemies hit, and inflicts Fascination for 4 seconds. Gains status effect immunity while using this skill. So her special move pretty much deals damage. She inflicts a Fascination, and she's also going to increase her max HP by a ton. So her entire kit is pretty much stacked. Like, every single part of her kit is really good. Her passive is good. Her 2 active skills are absolutely amazing, and her ultimate is just very nice. The fact that she gets that max HP boost, and she also deals pretty good damage, because 1200% of attack, that's actually pretty nice damage right there. So this unit, her whole kit is just amazing. Now let's check out her exclusive equipment. So for level 1, it says Heart Zone is enhanced, increasing the duration by 3 seconds. And for level 2, it says when involved in an enemy elimination, including summon beasts within the heart zone, increases the caster's max HP by 20%, max 4 stacks. So she is getting like 80% max HP boost from level 2. That is absolutely amazing. And then for level 3, it says Jewel Heart is enhanced, increasing max HP recovery by 10% when Jewel Heart is removed. And then for level 4, it says increases defense by 30% for each enemy hit by Surfing Heart for 10 seconds, max 4 stacks. So this unit, like this exclusive equipment pretty much increases her survivability 10 times more. So I highly recommend you guys to definitely max out her exclusive equipment, reach level 4 so that you can literally increase her survivability. So exclusive equipment, very, very good. Now, the best ignition weapon for this unit is going to be Sela set. This set is going to give her 20% defense and is also going to increase her physical and magic resistance and is going to recover 20% of her max HP. So this is literally the best set for this character. I highly recommend you guys to just focus on getting this set for her, because for the Myongo set, even though it gives her defense for the 2-piece set effect, she can't activate the 4-piece set effect. So if you're trying to go for 2-piece Myongo and 2-piece Sela, that's not a bad option, but she's gonna have too much defense. So it's better for her to just, you know, get the 20% defense from Sela and also get the physical and magic resistance and the max HP recovery. So Sela set, best set for this unit. Now, when it comes to substats, the best substats for this unit is going to be HP, evasion, accuracy, swiftness, magic resistance, physical resistance, and that's pretty much it. The reason why I did not recommend defense is because she gets a ton of defense in her exclusive equipment and through her kit. So getting more defense in her, like getting more defense as a substat is just too much. So you should mainly focus on getting HP, a magic physical resistance, evasion, accuracy, and you can get swiftness through the Tri-Essence facility. And then of course for your slot 4 you want to put magic resistance, and then for your slot 5 you want to get physical resistance. Doesn't matter which slot it is, as long as you have physical and magic resistance, it's all good. So when it comes to team comps, like I said, her passive pretty much locks her in green element because of that 90% defense increase. So this is the team that I ended up forming for her. We have, of course, Endorsi as our main tank unit. We have Punisherin as our tanky DPS unit. And we have Yiwa, SSR plus Yiwa, who's going to be our main healer. We have Leroy here. Now, the reason why I have Leroy here is because of his ultimate. So his ultimate, he can pretty much increase all allies defense by 200% for 6 seconds. That is absolutely amazing for not only Endorsi, but for the whole team. Plus for his passive right here, he is going to increase magic pierce by a lot. He's going to increase it by 30% if you have his tier 5 revolution. So he can pretty much apply that to Punisherin. And I also have this character right here. She's a collab unit. When we take a look at her passive, she pretty much shreds the enemy's green element resistance by 60%. But of course, if you don't have her, you can use that as a hard. That as a hard is an SSR plus green element warrior unit. So we're going to put that as a hard here instead, just in case, you know, some of you guys don't have the collab character. But we're going to go ahead and enter this fight and let's see what happens. All right, here we go. Let's see her performance here. So we have Punisherin in the back right here. Look how much damage she's receiving. And she's all the way up front. So far, so good. Things are looking really good. And you can see that the 5 stacks right here, those are the 5 stacks for her passive. And she pretty much inflicts fascination. And look at the movement speed decrease. That is so useful. And look at how nobody in the team is dying. And you have 3 units who are focusing on Endorsi. Absolutely amazing. And she has the full 5 stacks right there. And we pretty much cleared it. Nobody died. So let's go ahead and see the stats real quick. Okay, the stats. Look at that. So Punisherin, of course, dealing the most damage, 16 billion damage. And then Endorsi being able to deal 5 billion damage. And she took 597 million damage. So she dealt the second highest damage in the team. And remember, she is a tank unit. That's why I said she can actually deal some pretty good damage. All right, let's go ahead and do another attempt. So this is going to be a floor 45, stage 3. And this is the enemy team. So we have Novik, Karaka. We have this tank unit right here. Let's see what happens. We do have element type advantage. As you guys can see, the blue arrow right there. We do have an advantage, so we are going to pretty much deal a lot of damage with Punisher in. So she did good last match, but of course, let's see if she can do well again this match because consistency really matters. So let's wait for this to load up. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens. So we got the provocation from Karaka. Punisher and Lero, they're focusing on Karaka right there. And then Endorsi is pretty much hanging out with That Is a Hard. And then that ultimate, you see the yellow barrier that everybody has. That's from Lero's special move. And that's pretty much the 200% defense increase. But look at how tanky this team is. Like, this is nuts. Nobody is taking any damage. Like, everyone's HP is pretty much maxed out. So let's go ahead and check out the stats real quick. Wait for this to load up. All right, let's check out the battle stats. Here we go. So Punisher in 8 billion damage. That is a hard, taking a ton of damage right there and 5 billion damage. And of course, SSR plus Iwa, 10 billion healing, and Endorsi dealing good damage. So even though Endorsi is not taking, any sort of damage, her job is to pretty much debuff the enemies with the magic resistance shred, and she's pretty much going to inflict the fascination on the enemy, which is going to reduce their movement speed. Like, the fact that she can reduce the enemy's movement speed is very, very good overall. Plus, she's going to increase her magic and physical resistance, which is pretty much like that pretty much makes her extremely tanky. So overall, man, her performance in Green Element team is absolutely wonderful. Now, when we take a look at her revolution, I will say her revolution is kind of busted. So for tier 4, you can pretty much decrease the defense of enemies by 50% for 10 seconds. 50% defense shred is nuts. So she's going to allow Punisher in to do a lot more damage. And then for tier 5, it says Heart Zone is enhanced, decreasing the caster's damage taken by 15% per enemy within the zone, max 5 stacks. So she is literally receiving less damage from the enemy. That is literally 75% damage taken decrease from her Revolution tier 5. So if you guys are thinking about investing in her Revolution phase 2, highly recommend it. That is extremely busted. But the thing is, she is still tanky without it. But if you're at a really high deficit and she's getting one tap, then I will highly recommend you guys to go for tier 4 and 5. I feel like tier 5 is just gonna allow her to be extremely tanky because of the damage taken decrease. So overall, her Revolution, very, very good. Now, how many copies do you need on this unit in order for her to work? So I highly recommend you guys to go for at least 3 red stars because you want to maximize her kit. I do feel like getting 3 red stars on every single unit is smart because you're maximizing her kit. So yeah, 3 red stars, really, really good. But 4 orange stars is also really, really good because you're going to get that plus 40% HP. And then for 3 purple stars, you're also going to get the plus 40% defense increase. So I do feel like 3 purple stars is really solid, and 4 orange stars really, really good because of the HP increase. But I am gonna try to go for max rainbow stars so that she can get that battle start energy. So overall, this unit is very, very good. The fact that she can take so much damage, she applies magic and physical resistance to herself by like 50%. She decreases the enemy's magic resistance, pretty much allows other magic damage type units to deal a lot more damage. So her usage and her overall value will never diminish in Green Element because of the magic resistant shred and the amount of damage that she can take. Like, she's just very good. Plus, you have the movement speed decrease, which is really nice. So I highly recommend you guys to definitely invest in this unit and definitely summon for her. You won't regret it. She is very, very powerful. But that's pretty much all I have for you guys on today's video. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. I really appreciate it. And I'll be catching you guys on the next one. Peace.